So, Interstellar. Interstellar was a movie made 2000, last 2014, so almost 10 years ago. And many months or years before that, I already am aware na time is relative. And I'm already aware. But, and even though I'm aware of that, na merong ganyan na phenomena sa mundo, na kanya-kanya daw tayo ng mga oras, ng ticking clocks sa each other, hindi lang siya significant ang difference kasi nandito lang tayo sa Earth. Pero, even though aware ako sa idea na yan, I'm still struggling to understand why na nag-spend si Cooper, yung main character doon sa planet na malapit sa black hole, isang oras doon is 7 years sa Earth. 'Di ba? Yun yung parang ang nangyari doon sa planet na malapit sa fictional na black hole named Gargantua. So yun, hindi ko siya nag-grasp talaga. Many years later, I'm still struggling to understand. And just recently, I'm just happy to share na medyo naintindihan ko na yung concept. And I'll try to explain it here in this video. Just for your information lang, hindi ito something na you'd watch to learn facts. My YouTube channel is just me expressing things I learned, expressing my opinion. So do not take everything here as a fact. No, I may mention some things here na mali. So I'm just like sharing and
take it like a grain of salt.
Sharing, and then hopefully some of you will learn together ba, kumbaga we'll learn together, and you if you are also interested with these kinds of topics, pwede mo din akong turuan if may mga mali ako. So yun, I'll try to share what I have learned so far. Okay. So, okay. Just a minute. Okay. So let's start with kasi ang mga topic natin ngayon is about Einstein's I'm laughing kasi it's such a very complex na topic, and I'm trying to wrap my mind around it, even though hindi ko na talaga yan makukuha pa. So surface level lang. So Einstein's theory of relativity, special theory of relativity, and then yung general theory of relativity. It's two separate na theories. So I'd like to ask you, what is your idea of speed? You can try. You can try. What is your idea of speed? I mean, it's a broad question, but if I run, diba? If I run towards you, and let's say 5 meters per second. I don't know the speed. 5 meters per second.
Ako, paspas. Bilis naman yan.
I don't know. 5 meters per second, for example lang, mag-run ako towards you, and you run away from me 2 meters per second. 5 yung sa akin, 2 meters yung sa'yo. Maaabutan ba kita eventually? It's the question. Maaabutan ba kita eventually?
I'm not sure.
You can't do the math, no. You're hindi mo strength ang math. But 5 yung speed ko and 2 yung speed mo palayo sa akin, eventually maaabutan kita.
Okay.
Kasi if you do the math, I'm like running
faster than me.
Yes. And
okay.
then yung speed ko, instead na 5, parang papunta sa'yo, relative sa speed mo, I'm like running 3 meters per second.
Okay.
Gets mo?
Okay.
Kasi you're running away. So, in a way, relative to you, yung speed ko is 3 meters per second. Even though I'm running 5 meters per second. Gets? Relative to the ground. Diba? relative to someone watching us running away.
Okay.
Running towards something. Okay. So that's speed. That's velocity. In a way, we already learned na relative daw ang speed. Relative ang speed. So that means if I run towards you 5 meters per second and you run towards me 1 meter per second as well, 1 meter lang sa'yo, it's like mas madali tayong mag-aabot in between kasi our speed combined together is parang relative to me parang yung speed ko is 6 meters per second. I could be wrong, no? But ang main idea dito is relative. Yung understanding natin for many years is relative ang speed. So we can get another example. Moving train. So nasa sa train station ka, nakaupo waiting for your train. And then there's like this train pass by you. Relative to you, that train just run past you many kilometers per hour. It's really fast, di ba? Relative to you. But relative to the person that's sitting on that train it's as if the whole world is running towards him or her, di ba?
Yes.
The train is stationary relative to him, to the person na nakaupo sa train. So if he tries to run inside the train and at that moment nakita ng nakaupo sa train yung tao na nasa loob ng train na tumatakbo sa loob ng train, it's as if the person running is, let's say ang speed ng train is 120 kilometers per hour, let's just say. So the person running inside the train sa direction kung saan yung takbo ng train, let's say nag-run siya ng 20 kilometers per hour, the speed of the person na nakita natin move past by us, it's as if tumakbo siya ng 140 kilometers per hour. Kasi 120 yung train, tas nag-move pa siya within the train. So 140 yung tinakbo niya, so ang bilis niyang tingnan, 'di ba? Kasing bilis ng train plus 120 plus 20 kilometers per hour. Are you na-imagine mo ba?
Yes.
So relative sa person na tumakbo sa loob ng train, 20 kilometers lang yung tinakbo niya. Hindi 140, hindi siya ganoon kabilis tumakbo. 20 lang, 'di ba? 20 lang. So we have learned to understand without using math, without using science na ang speed is relative.
What if nag-run siya back against the train?
If, let's put it in an extreme. So, sa perspective ng tao na nasa train station, watching the train is moving 100 kilometers per hour, the person is running 100 kilometers per hour opposite sa train, it's as if the person is stationary.
Oh, really?
It's as if he stayed on the same place.
Oh, okay.
But no one can run 100 kilometers per hour. So if it's like the basic example is yung escalator. If it's a moving down escalator and you try to go up at the same speed ng escalator, you are stationary. Imagine. You are stationary. So ang speed mo papunta sa taas and ang speed ng papunta sa baba is same, you will not move. But in your perspective, you are moving.
Yes.
No, you are exerting effort. But you're not moving, di ba? You were not able to move. But you are exerting effort, same speed, but na-cancel out siya sa speed ng pababa. Okay, that's our understanding of speed. Importante kasi ma-discuss ang speed sa idea ni Einstein na sa special relativity niya. He talks about speed kasi. So we have already learned, no, there were already scientists that were able to calculate the speed, not the speed of light. The speed of light. Way before Einstein, 300 years ago, there's already a person who was able to get the approximate speed of light.
Kinsa.
See, let me, yeah, his name is si astronomer Ole Romer. In 1676, the Danish astronomer Ole Romer became the first person to measure the speed of light. So it was not Einstein
Hmm?
who discovered the speed of light.
Okay.
Many years ago already, someone already discovered the speed of light. Paano niya ginawa yun? It's something to do with Jupiter and the Jupiter's moon. So, alam na ng mga tao ang movements ng mga planets. They can predict it now. Paano mag-move ang planets sa space. They can predict the location. Now, his experiment is I can't really go into detail. You can look this up. But yung ginawa niya is tiniming niya sa eclipse. So pag eclipse, nabablock 'di ba ang light
Oo.
that goes towards us. So he will parang may prediction siya. Hey, if paglabas ng pag-reveal ng light from Jupiter to us, then I can measure.
Okay.
So if magpapakita tong Jupiter at this exact point in this exact space, I can predict the speed
Okay.
na predict niya.
Pero may margin of error.
May mga konti pero very close siya sa speed of light.
Oh.
Very close.
Nice.
So in a way parang na-gets niya na the light is also traveling. So yun, it's so may speed of light na tayo. Now, ano yung contribution ni Einstein sa speed of light? Contribution niya is sinabi niya ng speed of light is not relative. It is constant no matter the reference.
Oh, really? Is that Romer?
What? No. Einstein.
Einstein na. Okay.
No. So why
Really?
are you not freaked out? Like I said, velocity is relativistic. It's if you move forward towards someone, if the person is also moving away from you, deductive yung magiging speed mo.
Okay.
Ang sa kay Einstein, sabi niya, yes, it has a speed, but it is fixed kahit ano pang reference frame mo. Even if they call this, if you shine a light pag nasa train ka, if you shine a light, let's say the train is moving 10,000 kilometers per hour, let's just say, and if you shine a light inside the train, it's not gonna be, ano yung speed ng light? Speed of light is, let's say, 300 million meters per second ang speed of light. Hindi magiging 300 million meters per second plus
10,000 kilometers.
it's fixed.
The fuck?
Again, when we did the thought experiment earlier na may tao tumakbo within sa train, relative to anyone's relative, yung when the person ran 20 kilometers within the train, it's the train's speed plus the person's speed ang makikita na speed ng tao na nasa labas ng train. Sa loob ng train, yung tinakbo ng tao is 20 kilometers lang relative sa kanya. 20 kilometers lang yung tinakbo niya. Now, with light, since we can't see the speed, no, kasi ultra speed talaga siya, parang instant yung pero if you slow it down, if you can do a slow motion, ang mangyayari is if you shine a light towards kung saan yung direction ng train, the speed of light is gonna stay the same. It's not gonna add up the speed of the train.
Oh.
And then the speed
so
of light
different.
outside, yung outside observer na nasa train station, watching the light. Of course, we can't watch the light do that. But yung speed daw talaga is always gonna be constant. It's not relative. Constant siya na speed.
Yung speed
in
of
any,
light.
or in any point of view. And I'll show you an example na lang. Wait. Let's watch this.
Moment. But the constant nature of light says that it's all wrong. How? Imagine there are two nations, Nation A and Nation B, and they want to sign an agreement. The problem is that they both want to sign the agreement at the same moment. And they found the procedure too. The procedure is that the leader of both nations need to sit at the opposite sides of the table, with a light bulb fixed over the middle of the table. Turn on the light bulb, and when the light reaches both leaders' eyes, they can both sign simultaneously, because they already know that light always travels at the same speed. Both nations
Light always travels at the same speed. When you saw the animation, both sila
leaders decide to sit exactly the same distance from the bulb. So the event begins, they turn on the light, and the light reaches both leaders at the same moment. The agreement is signed simultaneously by leaders, and everyone is happy with the result. A few months later, they decided to sign another agreement, but this time, both leaders want to do it differently. Even though they have many different options, both leaders have an extreme love of trains. So they set up the same scenario in a moving train. The train goes on. The light flashes and goes to each leader, reaching them simultaneously. They sign, and again everybody in the train is happy with the result. But the people standing on the platform started fighting because the people from Nation B complained that Nation A leaders signed the agreement first. How did they come up with that conclusion? Now take a look at that event again. The train is moving, the light flashes. Leader A is coming towards the flash. Leader B is moving away from the flash. So they saw that the flash first reached Leader A because he was moving towards the flash. They already know that light always travels at constant speed. Leader B was moving away from the flash, so it took a longer time to reach Leader B compared with Leader A. From the perspective of those watching the event from the platform, both leaders didn't sign at the same moment. But from the leader's perspective, who were in the moving train at constant velocity, claim that they signed at the same moment. We already know that when an object travels at a constant speed from the perspective or frame of reference, it can claim it is at rest. Now let's move on from the platform perspective.
This is the platform perspective.
Okay.
Let's make a simple to understand event. We'll draw a line with
Boom. So, this is the line that the moment they saw. This is the moment they saw the light flashes.
Okay.
This is a kasi very ultra super slow motion. So ganito siya. They saw the light. The speed of light. This is the start, Yora.
Okay.
This is the start where they will spread out. Notice now.
when the flash takes.
It's not a camera trick. They move equally.
Equally, okay.
Diba?
At the same time.
Yeah, the speed to the left, the speed to the right is equal. This is not a trick, an animation trick. Let's do this slice by slice.
Place.
Still. But notice the light. The bulb. It's as if it slowed down. The light slowed down.
Okay.
It's as if. But no, the light didn't slow down. In their perspective, the light is constant. That's the rule, diba?
Yes.
The light moves at the speed of,
Travels at the same speed.
in their perspective. So it didn't violate. It's still.
And draw a line. And when the flash reaches
It arrived A.
leader A versus leader B. So from this line, we can clearly see that the flash reaching leader B needs to travel a longer distance compared to leader A.
Needs to travel a longer distance compared to leader A. It's as if the distance is longer, even though it's not.
Light always travels at the same speed. If it has to
Light always travels at the same speed.
travel further, it takes a longer time.
If it travels further, it takes a longer time.
Okay.
But how come na naging longer ang point sa bulb to be. It's not. It's the same.
So who is
Okay.
right here? The leaders inside the train or the people watching from outside? The reality is that both are right. So what is it telling us? The constant nature of speed of light means that the events take place at the same time, even though from the perspective of one group of people, the events don't take place at the same time as from the perspective of other groups.
What the fuck?
One group of people don't realize any time difference, and the other group of people witness a time difference on the same event. It is not an optical illusion, it is reality.
Okay, so I have discussed already before na about sa quantum physics. It was a long time ago na video. It's a spooky something video, spooky connection at a distance. So you notice on extreme levels things behave very, very differently. It doesn't make sense to our observed reality. Our observed reality is when there's no such thing as two things happening differently in different perspectives. I mean, pwede na sa perspective mo, ganyan yung belief mo. May mga ganyan tayo na mga instances. But it doesn't, hindi nararap ng brain natin na paano nangyari na both people signing an agreement at the same time na may mga witnesses pa sa perspective ng iba is reality talaga na nakita nila ang nag-sign si A first before B, 'di ba? Hindi pwede yan sa korte. Paano yan 'di ba? Paano siya ide-depende sa korte? Dalawang true at things at the same time. Doesn't make any sense. Walang ganyan na klase na situation sa atin in reality. 'Di ba? May perspective na opinion tayo about things but not the reality itself. Okay? So, that's I've mentioned before yung 'di ba, yung sa case ng quantum world, the smallest particles, things behave very weirdly. Now, sa extreme na speed pala, like the speed of light, things behave very differently as well. So, yun yung parang gusto sabihin ni Einstein na nagpa-change ng world natin, na nag-iba na yung perspective natin sa mundo because of what Einstein discovered na hey, speed, although it's relative, but when it comes to light, it is not. It isn't. And now, about sa quantum world, if it's the smallest bit, things happen really weirdly. They can move faster than the speed of light. It violates the speed of light through some connection between two particles na entangle. And yun, things pop in and out of existence pag mga small na yung pinag-uusapan. It doesn't happen in our reality. No, such things pop up into reality like a ball appearing out of nowhere. Hindi siya pwede. But sa quantum world, pwede siya. Sa mundo natin, we can travel faster than speed of light. Sa mundo ng mga maliliit na bagay, pwede. Instantaneously yung communication nila. Sa mundo ng speed, when we move, yung speed natin ng pag-move and yung is relativistic, and pwede pa nating madagdagan yung speed natin and mabawasan depende sa kung ano yung relativistic, 'di ba? But when you reach the speed of light, things get weirder. It's constant suddenly ang speed of light. Okay, what else is weird? Ayun, balik doon tayo sa Interstellar. 'Di ba sa Interstellar, 1 hour doon sa planet na yon is 7 hours. How can I describe this one? So, okay, let me try and open a painting. Okay, let's try open a paint. Okay, so our world is 3D now. Our world is 3D space, 3-dimensional space. We can move anywhere in our space, and then 1 dimension time. And to represent space, since we can't really, para mag-wrap yung head around natin sa concept ng general relativity, is we will just pretend. Let's just draw and make the 3D world into 2D para mag-make sense.
Okay.
So let's just say na itong straight line na to is space. This is space. Tanaw sa akong drawing. This is space. We can move left and right, and within that small space, we can move up and down. Just imagine that we're like tiny little pixels moving around this line. This is our 3D world represented by a line. Now, sabi doon sa nag-move na tayo sa general relativity ha. We're done with speed. Now, let's talk about mass. Ang bigat ng mga bagay. Sabi ni Einstein sa general theory of relativity niya, when you get to a point na sobrang bigat mo na, maaapektuhan mo daw ang space at saka time. Mawawarp mo ang space at saka time. So what that means is this line, if there's like a mass, wait, how can I do that? If there's like a mass, magwa-warp to siya like a pangit drawing ko. Magwa-warp siya like a trampoline.
Okay.
So, for example, if there's a planet here, there's a sun here, this space daw will be warped.
Okay.
So, again, this is just a 2D representation of the space. Actually, hindi siya ganito, hindi ang reality ganito. We're just trying to make sense of a very complex na na topic. So, eto daw ang mangyayari sa space and time. Mabebend daw siya.
Okay.
Mabebend daw siya. And there are other space, right? Outside this planet, merong ganito din na merong ganito din na space somewhere. Hindi na curve yung space sa time kasi malayo siya dito sa malaking mass na to that can affect space-time. So, okay ang space dito, hindi na warp. So now, what does this have to do with the interstellar, and why 1 hour doon is
7 hours sa Earth?
Okay. So this is Earth. And malayo si Earth, 'di ba? Let's say sa ibang galaxy pa nga si Earth eh. And meron siyang sun that has its own gravity and has its own mass. So mayroon siyang certain warp sa ano niya. So where's that? So let's just pretend na this line na walang warp is no. So dito si Earth, let's draw Earth. Si Earth naman nasa ibang galaxy, and ganito yung space niya, and then ganito lang yung warp niya. Kasi hindi massive yung Earth eh. And of course, there's also another space for the sun na nag-warp siya. Since malayo tayo sa sun, medyo na-bend lang. If you imagine a trampoline and put balls in it, 'di ba parang nagre-ripple yung effect niya. It can affect other balls that are within its vicinity. So ganun din yung Earth. So eto yung Earth, and na-warp din niya yung space.
Okay.
So we are already iba yung ang experience natin sa time sa Earth. We move through time, 'di ba? We move through time, and yung sabi mo nga kanina if taing-tai ka na, time moves. Ano yung sabi mo kanina?
Sa CR, may sa loob ng CR naliligo let's say naliligo ako. Tapos sa labas ng CR natatae ka. So for you, time moves super slowly. Sa akin naman normal lang. Kasi sa'yo ang tagal kong matapos because you really need to use the toilet.
Okay, but the question is, Did the time really move slowly?
No.
The ticking
It's
of
just
the clock.
relative on what you're experiencing. Kasi natatay ka eh.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay, that's normal.
Mm-mm.
We experience that every day when we work and wala tayong masyadong trabaho. Time moves very slow. That's why
Yes,
we
yes.
want to have more tasks to keep the time move a lot faster.
Yes.
Kasi we are busy.
Yes.
But does that mean the time waited for you?
No.
Did the time really move slowly?
No.
Did the time really move slow? Did your biology really allowed you to move a lot slower?
No.
Will that happen in reality? That time moves slower?
No.
In extreme circumstances, pwede.
The fuck?
Again,
Like sa quantum world.
with big stuff, general relativity, big stuff, black holes, suns, planets.
Okay.
So time will literally slow down and will literally move fast. Na it's not just the clock. It's not just the clock that will move slow or move fast. It's your internal,
Your biology.
your biology, your stuff within you, the smallest stuff within you will operate according to the according to the time.
Mm-mm.
Now, did you really move like a cartoonish character, like you move forward through
No.
time? Ganito yung nangyayari ha. So sila they call this yung bida sa Interstellar,
Si Cooper.
sila Cooper,
And Brand.
they entered this planet, diba? So when they entered this planet, again, balik tayo dun sa speed of light. The speed of light is constant, whatever the reference frame. This has been warped. The space-time has been warped.
Okay.
Meaning, to preserve the rule na ang speed of light is constant, the speed of light here will travel the same in this big warp space. Now, ano yung speed ng light dito? Will it change just because there's a big mass? No. It's still gonna travel its own speed. Constant. It's gonna travel here. This is the light. But since na bend, it's gonna travel a lot longer
Okay.
kasi na-bend yung space-time. Di sa space-time kasi siya dumadaan.
Okay.
Sa space kasi siya dumadaan. Ang light needs something to run to
Okay. To pass through.
pass through. So, as you can see, even though nag-remain lang naman yung speed niya, but since warp to, it needs to travel a lot longer distance because na warp ang space.
Okay.
So what this means is na warp ang space, mag-a-adjust din ang time kasi yan I forgot about this one, but paano ba para ma-maintain, hindi ma-violate yung speed of light ba? So when you are living in this planet, you're still moving the same movements that you do. It doesn't feel like you are moving faster or slower. That the clock, when you look at your clock, it's still gonna operate like a normal clock.
Mm-mm.
Your body is still gonna remain the same. But because warped yung space-time na existan mo, and when you look at a light, when you flash a light, it's still gonna run 300 million meters per second. It's still gonna do that.
Okay.
But since na warp, in a way, ang pagtatakbuhan din ng oras is na warp.
Oh.
Okay, so I can visualize it something like this, no? Na instead na ang oras itatakbo in a straight line na much faster, if you think about it, mas mabilis siyang if line is straight and if it wants to go to from point A to point B, then a straight line would arrive to be a lot faster.
Mm-mm.
But since this is warped, in your perspective, you are moving as if normal. You're moving through time normal. But sa perspective, outside ng perspective, kung may telescope tong entity na to, or let's just say this was Earth, diba? And if there's like a instrument to look at this, the person inside that planet, they will appear to move very, very slow.
Oh, okay. So, para silang nagsa-slow mo like that.
Oo.
Sa
Every
perspective ng...
kung yung calculation nila is 1 hour 7 years, it's as if every second mag-move yung mga characters na nandoon sa planet is a day has already passed sa Earth.
Oh, okay.
So if they look at it through a telescope, sila Cooper naka-freeze.
Yes, oo. I got it.
Kasi 1 second, 1 day.
Mm-mm.
So, and then bakit naka-freeze sila? It's warped, meaning mag-i-effort pa din yung time ng yung light. Yung light is information, 'di ba? Light gives you information kasi the light will land on your eye and it will process that. It's information. So it gives you information of the person. And since yung light it has to travel through this kind of warped space, hindi slow, but tawag dito, malayo yung distance na tatakbuhan niya. So, delayed yung information, kumbaga.
Mm-mm.
So, ganoon ang nangyari. Very warped ang... Am I wrong in this one? Or am I still making sense?
Making sense.
So, in a straight line, ganito dito sa Earth, it's warped, but warped na hindi ganoon ka... It's, again, because it's relativistic to us, it's as if everything is normal.
Mm-mm.
Clocks, at yung clock natin is walang nag-speed up or walang nagsuslow down. Sa perspective naman dito sa planet ni Cooper na warp masyado ang space and time, normal din sa kanya ang mag-operate doon sa mundo na yun.
Yes.
Walang anything. Of course, science fiction to, though it's a fact, no, na the space time will be warped with masses, makaka-warp siya ng space time. Yun yung science, but ang science fiction dito is Cooper can't land on that planet.
Mm-mm.
Because it's impossible to live in that planet na ganoon ka warped ang space time.
Mm-mm.
Mamamatay sila sa pull ng gravity. It's so heavy that they won't be even able to land on that planet. They will destroy themselves. So yan yung science fiction, but of course we want to like in a film, di ba, gusto natin makita yung kung ano yung effect ng relativity, pinakita nila sa atin yan. But that's an impossibility. We can't land on that planet na malapit sa black hole. Hindi pwede yun daw, sabi ng mga science na critic sa movie. But what is real is the effects of relativity, na relativistic yung time. Sa perspective mo, you're still moving, you're not suddenly paused and freeze. But yung perspective mo sa outside is iba.
Now it makes sense.
Okay.
When I was a little girl, I was watching Powerpuff Girls.
Mhm.
They were playing Lumba Dagan.
Okay.
Sana sa Tagalog?
Tag.
No.
Just a typical na race.
Oh, race.
Running.
They were playing race. They want to know who's the fastest of them three.
Mhm.
And it's fiction, of course. They went beyond their speed,
Mhm.
and they ran at the speed of the light.
Mhm.
So the people around them froze
Okay.
I couldn't understand then why. And then after they finished, pagkatapos silang nag-race, it's already years later. Something like that. I forgot the episode.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that aside from big masses affecting space-time, speed as well warps time. So if you go hindi lang siya sa speed of light. If you move on a certain speed on anywhere, you'll be you will like your time will slow down. So sa perspective mo, again, if you're riding a fast spaceship, sa perspective mo normal.
Yes,
Time is operating like normal. Seconds are ticking, your body is normal. But since you're traveling faster, let's say 50% of the speed of light yung speed ng machine mo, pagbalik mo sa Earth, late na yung watch mo. If you compare your watch to someone's clock, so hindi lang mass, it's also speed. So, yun, if you travel fast and then you go back to Earth to see your watches, you have yung clock ng person na nasa Earth is advanced na. Pero seconds lang.
Exactly.
Hindi siya significant enough na hindi siya pareha doon sa Interstellar na pagbalik talaga ni Cooper, lola na yung anak niya and hindi siya tumanda, 'di ba? So hindi ganoon ka significant yung pero if you travel near the speed of light, 99.99% mag-freeze ang time sa'yo. If you can survive the speed.
Yes.
If you can survive the speed, the time freezes in your clock. Time will stop. Everything else will move. Really, lahat ng events
parang
na
frozen na yung
wala ka na sa ma-freeze daw yung time mo, and everything else will start to move really really fast. If you have that vehicle and then you can watch the window, i-check mo anong na nangyayari sa labas, everything will move really fast, like fast forward. And walang parang hindi nag-move ang time. So they conducted this kind of experiment. So there's like there's like something na chemical na pag ma-expose siya sa lupa, meron lang siyang mga few minutes and then mawawala na siya. Parang mamamatay siya. Yung chemical na yun, for example, yung particle na yun. So that particle daw has a lifespan of 6 minutes na kung i-expose mo siya sa hangin, mawawala siya in 6 minutes.
Okay.
Now, what this weirdos did, the scientists in the particle accelerator, they tried to accelerate the particle of that one. Yung
6 minute
6
chemical.
minute na chemical na lifespan lang. So they tried to accelerate it near the speed of light, 99.99999% the speed of light. Pinatakbo nila yung particle na yun through their apparatus. Nag-live longer
chemical. How long?
As long as they fired it sa apparatus nila. So if they keep on firing it for 1 day, it will live for a day, even though 6 minutes na siya. If they accelerate it for a day, it will be preserved for a day. Kasi na-freeze yung time niya.
Powerpuff Girls. Makes sense now.
So it seems like science fiction. I can't my brain is still not accepting it. It's science fiction for me. Pero it has been observed. Our GPS system is ina-adjust always kasi it's moving through space. It has a certain speed and then it's outside the warping of our planet.
Mm-mm.
So walang warping na nangyayari doon sa kung saan man yung GPS natin na satellite.
Okay.
And since may effect tayo dito sa mundo, yung mga tao na nasa sa Earth, may effect yung warping ng space-time natin. Yung GPS natin has to be corrected from time to time para mag-in sync yung oras natin dito sa oras kung ano ang nandoon. Kasi nag-change siya lagi. So that's another evidence na, hey, this is not science fiction. This happens in reality. And I still can't wrap my head around it. So, yun, I finally understood na when in this scenario doon sa Interstellar, it's not just space that was warped, it's also time that was warped. Na instead na ang distances from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. is this length, is ganito ang distansya, and since na warp yung space-time, dito na yung 2 p.m. Kinda longer to arrive na at 2 p.m. So you are literally moving really slow from outsider's perspective, but you don't feel it.
Mm-mm. Okay.
Kasi you are still operating inside a reality wherein the light travels at a constant speed. Okay, kasi if you live in this kind of planet, light is still moving at a constant speed, which is about around 300 million kilometers per second. So, ang dami pang weird stuff na nangyayari na happening all around us, and we're still trying to figure it out. Our scientists are still trying to make sense of our world. I feel like parang ano siya, parang when I tried to first time ko na gets na yung warping ng time, kaya ganoon yung effect, is I feel like parang I'm in a movie na someone is watching us through a screen, and ganito yung composition ng universe na pinasukan natin, and it's our job to discover it's the whole nature of our reality. Magets natin yung bakit nagwo-warp ang space-time. What is it? What is that thing that is warping? Like, 'di ba? What is keeping our planet suspended in space? Is it free falling? Is it floating? Is it moving on a certain direction?
It's
Meron
God.
pang ang other examples sa may na if we are moving daw, if our planet is rotating,
Mm-mm.
and it's revolving around the sun, and the sun is revolving around the galaxy, and our galaxy is moving away from other galaxies, then that means there's like a certain direction we're going. Where is that direction? Is it on our right side? Is it on our left? Is it upward or downward? So parang yung mga scientists they try to do some experiments kung mag-change ba daw ang speed of light. So they tried some experiments, say if we move it to the right, mag-change ba siya? Kasi yung theory nila is if ma-hit nila yung kung saan yung direction ng takbo natin as a planet, mag-i-increase ang speed of light. That's their idea before Einstein discovered na constant siya. So that's their idea. So what they did is they rotated the apparatus 360 degrees, like the whole sphere of the direction, kung mag-change ba ang speed of light. And hindi nag-change ang speed. So ang initial nila na conclusion is there's no such thing as direction. Walang direction na pinagtakbuhan natin. So that ganun yung thought process nila. I haven't really gone through it, pero they could have discovered right there and then na constant ang speed of light.
But
They can't conclude that because para sa idea nila relativistic ang speed. Na it's subtractive and it's summative. So yun. What have you learned?
Many things na hindi ko na-grasp before.
So, to remain light at a constant speed to para hindi ma-violate yung static and the constant nature ng time, in the world of Cooper, since very warped yung space-time doon, then light through space has to arrive much longer kasi yung space-time na dinadaanan ng light is warped. It's also the same with time. Since na-warp ang space-time, na longer ang from here 1 p.m. to 12 p.m. It's a 12 midnight.
Midnight, okay.
So, it's longer kaya the people that are operating in this world moves a lot slower in our perspective. But in their perspective, they're moving normally. They're not frozen in time. But we outsiders looking at their planet, they appear to have been frozen. Kasi again, ang light that should arrive us is warped, na dumaan sa isang warped na space-time.